Kia ora everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am carrying on with my complete collection tour. This is everything that I own in terms of adult colouring books, as well as every page I've ever coloured in any work in progress pages. I film this at the start of every year, so this is the third year that I've done this. I'll be sure to leave the playlist down below so you can watch the previous years to see how the collection has grown and changed and all the different pages that I have done from year to year. So in this video we are going to do Johanna Basford. Now I don't have every single Johanna Basford book. I am definitely missing a few and I'm not in any rush to go out and get them. In fact, I even unhauled a couple of Johanna Basford books in 2024 because I decided that I just don't gravitate enough to her work, and I'm quite happy with my little collection. If I find something kind of an amazing clearance deal, maybe I'll pick it up. But for now, I've got a little collection and I'm happy with my Johanna collection. So I've put the books again in publication date so that we can go through them and look at every page. So the oldest Johanna I have is of course Enchanted Forest. This is not my first copy of Enchanted Forest. I brought a copy when I first got into adult colouring, and then I unhauled it, and then I brought a second copy and I got rid of it again. It's only in the recent year or so, a couple years since I really got into adult colouring, that I brought a copy to actually live on my shelf. And I've only done one page in here, which is this birds page. So this one had just these leaves coloured and a couple of bird designs on the page, and it was pretty blank, and so I went to town a bit with this page and had a lot of fun with it. I used a bunch of different watercolours and Kaisercraft shimmer spray in the background here to create sort of like a mottled texture background. And then I used metallic paint pens to colour in all the leaves and feathers that were along here. I used a bunch of feather stickers to also add in a bit more pattern across there. And then I collaged in a bunch of different birds. So some of these actually from like a piece of paper that had like a bird design on it, and some of them are actually magazine cutouts. So I collaged those in and added in some Liquitex acrylic ink and white to add some splatter on top once I was done collaging it in. And yeah, it was a really fun sort of experimental page to do in this book. And like it's different, but it was really fun. And I really like doing collaging, and I especially like doing collaging in Johanna Basford, as you'll see coming up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the only page I have done in here. It is indeed. So that is my page from Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford. Next one I have is Lost Ocean. I love ocean colouring. I don't think I've done much in here. I've done the rainbow fish, which is this one here. So this one uses Staedtler fine liners and a gold metallic gel pen to colour in this rainbow fish. And then it also had a border on it very similar to this jellyfish, and at the time I did not want to do that border, so I just used glitter tape to tape over it and fill in that background, which I actually really like. I did debate if I needed to carry on the tapes in here and fill it in fully, but I was like, nah, that's quite nice with just a simple frame around it. I do kind of want to do the same effect on this side with the jellyfish, but this time maybe do like pink to red this way, like flip the rainbow. And I don't think I would do the full tape border just because there's so much jellyfish to cut around, so maybe some like little glitter circles or something. That is something I'd like to do though, is to have this coordinating. Is that my only one in here? Very, very possible. Yep, only one in here. I would one day really love to do this massive 4-page fold out. It's very, very cool. It's a lot of work though. So that is Lost Ocean. And then I have Magical Jungle. Now I only got this one because it came as like a combo deal with Lost Ocean. I was like, oh well, might as well. And so I've got this page here that I have done. And so this one I used watercolors in the background. And then I used water-based markers like Crayolas and a gold gel pen to fill in all this little frame here. And I really like this one. It's so simple, but it's just really effective. Yeah, there's not really a lot to say about it because, again, it was just a really simple one, but I don't know, something about it just really sings out to me. I didn't even shade on here. Like, this is all flat coloring with the water-based markers. But yeah, I just really like it. Sometimes you just only need to do simple things. So that is Magical Jungle. Alright, IBM the Inky Butterfly. So this one will have a little bit more for us to go through. And so we'll start with the chaotic title page. So for this one, I used Neo Color 2s to color in the center here. And then this is just a black, I think it's just like a black fine liner. And then I used a silver paint pen to do all the details and the text. Some polychromos to shade. And then a ton of white Posca to add in far too many stars. But I really like it. The silver is super reflective. Yeah, just a few too many stars, but that's okay. And then I've done this page here. I just used like a felt tip and a glitter gel pen. There's nothing too special about one there. And then this one, maybe I used chalk pastel in the background here. I don't really do that now. It could be chalk pastel. And then a little bit of Posca, polychromos for shading. And this is a Deco Art paint marker just to write my name in there. Just really straightforward. And then we have the first page here with Ivy. So this one uses Prismacolor to shade and then a gold metallic gel pen, which when I used, I hadn't fully set and I managed to smudge it a little bit. So I used Mod Podge Extreme Glitter to seal over the top, which does seal in the page a little bit more and adds a really beautiful sparkle. But it did get slightly tinted by the metallic gold. So it is slightly yellow, but that's okay. Still need to do this side eventually. I don't know if I'll make it exactly coordinating or I might try and bring some of the colours across, but introduce obviously some strawberries. Still gotta do that one. And then we have the Room of Wonder. This one was a little bit of a challenge to myself. I used Faber-Castell Classic Colors to color this entire spread, and I really wanted to color the page without using pink and purple, which are my comfort colors. I usually use them a lot, and this time I wanted to try and not use them. So it was difficult, but I managed. So I had like I think about 14 colors that I was using for all the objects, and then I added in the peach for the background. And yeah, I really like how it came together. So yeah, Faber-Castell Classic Color pencils, and then a little bit of, I think that's Jelly Roll or maybe Signo white gel pen I was using back then. No basing or anything, just pencil. And then I have this butterfly done. This is just Distress ink in the background, and then the Deco Art gold paint pen. Probably bring those colours across to fill in here or something, or do something over here with it. And then I have this one here. So this one uses a black acrylic paint for the background, and then Prismacolor pencils for all the flower shading. A bit of stickles for inside some of the flowers and the frame. And then inside the door itself is Distress ink to give that sort of galaxy portal look. And then this one here, this is one of my favorites in the book. So I used polychromos pencils to shade all the flowers. Then the background is distress ink and shimmer sprays and some Liquitex acrylic ink. And then I made my own sort of Mod Podge glitter glue, and it is a mixture of loose glitter and Mod Podge that I mixed together to layer over the top. This was before I had Mod Podge extreme glitter or anything like that, so it's very well protected as well, and of course very glittery. And then I had more of that Mod Podge glitter mix left over, so I used it in here in the background, and I had coloured in the flowers, but I hadn't coloured in the leaves when I applied it. So I just went over the leaves, not thinking about the fact I still had to colour in the leaves and the grass. So because of that, I then use paint pens to do the leaves around here, just to finish off the page. So yeah, Posca paint pens, polychromos for the flowers, the background is water-soluble crayons, a little bit of stickles for the bees' wings here. Do like how it came together. And then I think that's the last one I've done in here. Yeah, so I could like finish off a couple more in here and then have it all like in order, which I know there's a couple of people who are working on this book in order, so it might be quite fun to do that, and it wouldn't be hard to catch up. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so 10 pages, and then it's all basically caught up and in order. Probably a little ahead, I think, of actually some of them as well. So it wouldn't be hard if they wanted to join in. That is Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Johanna Basford. And then we have my little project book, Johanna Basford's 30 Days of Creativity. So this one here is my art journaling colouring book, where I'm applying art journaling techniques to a colouring book and just creating whole different pages, and it's a lot of fun to have. So start off with the title page. This one is pretty straightforward. It is coloured. The images that's there are coloured, so I did use just Prismacolor to shade in the flowers and the leaves, and a bit of distress ink in the background, a silver gel pen to go over the text, and I found these little silver glitter bows, and I was like, that looks perfect, so I'll just chuck those in there. And then we have the first page, so the nameplate page, and this was the copyright information, but it's all covered up now. So for this one, I really like the little robot doodle there, so I did colour that in just with some metallic gel pens. And then I used actually a Ziploc plastic bag, and I filled it with a bunch of loose glitter and star confetti, and sealed that up, and then stuck it in front like it's a shaker, so all these do kind of move around and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. And then I had this piece of decorative paper that I kind of like the colours of, and I thought was kind of cool and worked with the stars. So I stuck that in and created a window for this little shaker to be through, so that the robots are there and they are protected, but you can move all the stars around. And then because it was sort of like a robot space theme, I added in a little spaceship. These are little hello, this is my happy. Then on this page, it is the nameplate page. So I used the scrap piece of card from in here that I cut out for the window behind here, so that it would carry on, and then use paint pens to colour in the little decorative frame that was drawn in. And then I blacked out the rest of it with black paint. Added in the star sequins that I put into here, as well as these little gold lines, which is actually the middle of the hello bit, just stuck in there. And then I wrote down here, celebrate this day and the starting date, which is April 2024, so that I can put the end date when I do eventually finish a book here. And then cover the entire page in Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. And then we have the introduction. So this has a message from Johanna about working in this book. This book is designed to get you into colouring every day or being creative every day. I colour every day, so I didn't need the book for that. So for me, this is more about just using it in a creative way. And so I kind of left the message legible, but also coloured over it. So I used a brick stencil and distress inks to create this brick texture. And I was thinking like it's a brick garden wall. Then I used magazine cutouts and journaling cutouts to cover all these flowers and stuff like that. It was mostly just covering up a really detailed border that was there that I didn't want to colour. And I stuck in these like gold lacework butterflies and celebrate wherever you can and bliss and love and just little bits and pieces like that. And then we have this page here. So this originally was actually a tracker that you could colour in to keep track of your 30 days of colouring. Now, as I said, I colour every day, so that wasn't the point of this book. So instead, I just made it a page tracker, which I haven't actually updated and really need to, because I've done a lot more than the 8 already blocked in here. So this one, I kind of liked that zoom in, zoom out. So on this side, we've got a little field mouse and a really close zoom in, and it's super, super cute. Then here we've got the zoom out. So imagine this is a close up and this is the far away, and that's why we've got the irises across both pages. And this does actually say page tracker, but I keep meaning to change what it's written with because it can be a bit hard to see depending on the light. And then we have the cup of tea page. So for this half, I did the thing where you drop tea onto a page and then you either just colour around it or colour inside it. Didn't work particularly well. I'm not very much in love with the page, but I tried it. And then this one here, I took the original teacups and used different scrapbooking papers and cut them out to create different teacups. And then I drew in these little animal creatures doing different things with the tea. Then, yeah, I think I used a Staedtler fine liner to go around everything, which wasn't the best. It was probably a mistake. I shouldn't have done the brown outline, but I was just keeping in line with the brown over here. Yeah, it's still cute. It's not the best thing in the world I've created, but it's kind of cute, so kind of like it. Haven't done the candy one. Now this one here is my favorite of the book. It is actually a YouTube video where I kind of go through the process of creating one of these pages and all the work that goes into it. So you can see just how much the process changes and how things come about in response to other things. And yeah, it's a lot, but it's a really fun time and a really good video. It is 4.5 hours long, so it's a lot of content to watch if you're interested. So this one, oh gosh, what did I use? Like a magazine, cutout, scrapbooking papers. There was a photocopy because I did this progress not perfection puzzle on top. Washi tape, scrapbooking papers, all sorts of stuff, and so much Mod Podge. That's what I was just folding down here because it is starting to crack a little bit in the crease there, which I'm not surprised by. But yeah, the page is big because it's so many layers of Mod Podge. But I do love how this one came together. And then I think there's one more in here. I just have to check my post-its are in place. They are, which is the Every Child is an Artist page. Now, I didn't technically colour this one. I got 2 of my nibblings to colour this one. My nibblings are my nieces and nephews. And so I got them to colour in these 2 pages for me. So it just had one child as an artist on one side and then a message from Johanna. So I just photocopied it twice so that each of the nibbling could have one. And that's what these pink things are. They just block out the nibblings' names and ages. But yeah, I like the fact that they have a page in here. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Lots of different processes. I've got a plan this month to work on this one and turn this into a bit of a fairy garden. So it's going to make this a bulky book even bulkier. She's already filling up quite nicely, and I imagine by the time it's done, this book is going to be like chunky. Right, we then have Worlds of Flowers. What have I done this one in here? I loved this one when I finished it. I still like it. It's really pretty. So I know I used Distress inks in the background, and then Prismacolor to shade, and Posca for all the stars. Didn't use any glitter, which is surprising, although this was way back in 2022, so it's just starting to find my way into the community here. I think this is one of my first ever buddy colours with colouring Bumblebee. Yeah, I do really like how this one came together. The vibe of it's just right. Wow, is that everyone I've done in World of Flowers? Look at another one. What have I done a cat one? That moment where you swear you've got more in a book. Maybe not. Okay. Guess not. Okay. That's it. World of Flowers. And then we have Worlds of Wonder. I know I've done at least a couple in here. Yeah, that was the cat one I was thinking of. So it's in Worlds of Wonder. Okay. So yeah, this one I used Distress inks in the background with some Kaisercraft shimmer spray. Not too bad of a bleed through considering how it normally goes. I also used some Liquitex gold acrylic ink for all the gold dots on the cat here. Then I used polychromos pencils to shade in the cat, and a bunch of sequins in the background as well to just add to the page. So it's got that fun reflectiveness of it, which I quite like. Simple but effective. This one here. So I feel like a lot of us were very inspired by Chris Chen and her amazing colouring on this page. And I was no exception. And I started off following Chris Chen and how she did this bottom section. And then it kind of lost my mojo, and then I left it for ages. And then I came back to it and I just went, screw it, and made up my own colours for the rest of it. So yeah. So this one I've used Prismacolor pencils to colour in this whole thing. There's a bunch of stickles or Mod Podge Extreme glitter, some white gel pen or Posca pen to do some highlighting. And one thing I'd like to do, which is also why it hasn't quite been coloured exactly to the edge here, is I do want to eventually join this up so it is a true double page spread, because this will join up nicely and this part just has to disappear somehow, like maybe be turned into a bit of a cliff edge or carry on the stone wall like it's a stone retaining wall. And then we just have to like put one of these columns up here. So it is very much, it could be turned into a double page spread super easily, and then it would flow. So I have left that little gap on the side for that reason, so I can join us up together eventually one day and turn it into a big double page spread. Right, 2 seconds, just checking that we've got no ages written down. We do not. We have this spread here. This was done again with one of my nibblings. They asked to colour with me, and I have no qualms about letting them jump into some of my colouring books. Some of them I am a little bit more hesitant on, but this one I was going to have them colour this side, and then I was going to colour this side, but then they wanted to help me on this side, so I did some on this side, and then we just worked all over the page together. This is the first time where the nibbling actually sat down and coloured with me for hours, so yeah, very, very impressive turnout by the child. And yeah, I really like it. I mean, it could have been coloured properly, but I doubt I would have got into it if I hadn't have done it with the kid. We have this floating island here. So for the actual island itself, I just used Faber-Castell Classic Colour pencils. And then for the background, it is Distress ink with a cloud stencil and a bunch of Kaisercraft shimmer spray on top. think there's a bit of Posca on the flying fish's wings as well, but yeah, pretty straightforward. And that's it. And that's everything from Worlds of Wonder. And then we have Rooms of Wonder. I've done this back page here, which was just a bit of a play around. So I tried some watercolor and then some distress inks. The key is colored with Prismacolor pencils. There's a bunch of cards of craft shimmer spray. Just a little bit of a play, but yeah, really fun. I like the galaxy effect I got there. So we have this page here. So this is when I first got my I think my Derwent ink tints, or maybe some water, it looks more like water soluble pencils. I got some sort of water soluble media, so I was trying it out on the clothes to see how it went, and it was going okay, but it wasn't my favorite. And then I used Posca and glitter to add a bunch of details to the clothes, but I had managed to smudge a bit of it around, so I had to use acrylic paint to fill in the background. But yeah, this acrylic paint isn't as smooth of a finish as I'd like, but I still think it turned out alright. Quite like it. I still need to do its counterpart at some stage. No, there's at least another one in here. Yeah, that one. And then we have the craft room. So when I first envisioned this page, I saw it being lots of rainbows and bright colours, and then at the time I had a colour scheme that was lots of white and black and grey, and then mint green and gold in my house. So I was like, oh, I should take inspiration from that. And so I did the black and green desk, and I was going for the white walls and the grey ground. The thing is, because I introduced so much grey and black in here, it really tones down the vibrancy of the room. It makes it really coordinated, but it also makes it really dull. And I actually did this as a buddy colour with colouring Bumblebee, and her one turned out so vibrant and colourful, and it's like, that was what I wanted, not my dull version. So I do regret that. But I'm still glad I did the page. Just wasn't quite the vibrant, colourful room I had in mind. And you can see by the coordinating rainbow thing here, like those were the colours of all the items, and without the greys in the background, this looks so much more vibrant than this. And it's the exact same colours, it's just this doesn't have all the grey and the black to tone it down. So, lesson learnt. That's okay, I do love this room. And I think that's it. It is. So that is Rooms of Wonder. And then my last Johanna book to show you is Small Victories. Now this one doesn't actually live in my colouring book collection. This one actually lives in my hospital bag, which is a go bag that is ready for me just in case I fall over and need to go up to hospital ASAP. So I have done a couple of pages in here, but I don't generally colour a lot in here because it's living in my emergency bag for a reason. So we have the cover page here that I have done. I think this one was done with polychromos pencils. Yeah, I don't even know what I was doing here. I was just playing around. It's not my favourite thing in the world, but it got coloured. And then I know I've done the flower page, this one. And I did this one with, I want to say, the Staedtler coloured pencils that I keep in the bag just in case. Nothing too original, it's just rainbow flowers. Really straightforward, but yeah, very, very cute. Again, this book lives in the bag for emergencies, so I don't access it a lot. But hey, if something happens this year, maybe I'll get to it, or maybe one day I'll just pull it out because I'm inspired to work in it. But for the most part, it lives in my hospital bag. And that is my entire Johanna collection. So you can see I am missing a few books. But I'm happy with the range I've got. I think I've got enough. And I don't see the point in rushing out to get more when I still have so many pages to colour in all of here. And as I said, I don't gravitate to Johanna all the time, so I think this is a fine enough collection for now. If I ever find some of her other books on a really good clearance deal, I may pick it up, but for now I'm happy with this size of a collection for Johanna. And yeah, hopefully this year we'll get a bit more done in her, and then maybe I will want to go out and get like Magical Worlds and Johanna's Christmas and a few other bits and pieces. But for now, happy with this collection, happy with these books and what I've produced in them so far. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video about Johanna Basford's books in my collection. Next up, I believe we'll be doing Mythographic, so that should be a good time. Keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much for watching. All the aroha to you all, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye!